Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the Builder of Boss Brands series. Yes! Where we're going to be doing this live weekly every Wednesday at 12 p.m. And if my internet happened to mess up and I have no choice but to do a video, don't worry. You'll also have access to that as well. So I'm so excited about today because before I even start that, let me introduce myself. My name is Tashana Nicole. I'm the founder of Pumps and Profit. This is a personal styling and personal branding and imaging agency. This is where you can be able to come and be able to not only get yourself right, but your look right, your brand right, and your life right. Okay. So, one of the things that I have been big on and have really seen the most transformation in is working on myself. Now, I know you probably like, okay, I know that too, right? So, we're going to kind of go into how you can be able to start pivoting now in order to prosper. Okay. So, I am dressed down today. I got my NC State Wolfpack alumni wear on today. I've been knocking out these CE courses for so I can keep my loan officer license. But that in itself is a pivot. You get what I'm saying? So there's things that you're going to be able to do in your life and that you can take advantage of so that you can be able to pivot. Now, I know I kind of jumped right into it, and I'm doing this because who has time to waste, right? So let's get right into it. Are you ready to know how you can be able to pivot and prosper? All right. So before I even start that, now you got to think where you are right now. Now, like I said, today I'm knocking out those CE courses so I can keep my loan officer license, right? So there's certain things that you are doing in your life that is either helping you or hindering you, right? All right, we're gonna keep it that black and white today. But there's certain things that are in your life that's gonna help you or hinder you. And when I say help you or hinder you, I'm talking about specifically in the prosperity phase. Okay. Now we know that success, prosperity, abundance, that's very subjective. I know that it's very subjective to the person. And I want you to understand that prosperity, abundance, success is subject to the person. Okay. I cannot determine your success. Only you can. And only you have the way that you can move. So when you understand that and you take that mind shift, now you're able to pivot better, and you are more susceptible, or I should say more forgiving to any failures that you may make. And what I love about making a pivot in your life is it is really going to challenge you to take your next step to the next level. So I want to give you 4 ways that you can be able to pivot in order to prosper. You have to determine what that prosperity is for you. Okay. So, the first thing that you want to be able to do whenever you're ready to make that pivot so that you can prosper is you have to be clear on what is this prosperity or this dream life that you're striving to. Now, let me break that down just a little bit more, okay? Now, when you're thinking in terms of your dream life, I know you're already thinking, oh my gosh, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, this is what I want to do. When I'm talking about your dream life, I'm talking about the things that you want to do right now, okay? In the next 12 months. That's what I'm talking about. So the thing is, a lot of us think, and I'm included, I still have this thing where we know, especially when you're a business owner, we know like 50 years from now what we want to do. I know I do. I have like my plan all the way out to 100, and I actually have like my generation plan for my family, my daughter, and everything, like trusts, setting up trusts and all of that, right? So when you're thinking that far ahead, you're feeling like, okay, this is a long, lifelong journey to that. And I know that I'm striving for this big thing. Now, maybe you're not thinking 50 or 100 years out, which you should. Maybe you're just thinking 5 or 10 years out, and you're saying, okay, so I want to be 5 years from now, I want to be a $10 million company, right? 5 years from now, I want to be revenuing at $10 million, or better yet, profiting at $10 million a year. And so you may say, all right, that's 5 or 10 years from now. And automatically, what I've noticed is that whenever we're looking at the future, what happens is we get discouraged on, okay, but what do I do now? Like, I'm going to have to work just to get to this goal of 10 million. But the thing is, in order to really make that pivot, in order to prosper, now you got to think, what is it that will allow for me to have that first step of the dream life that will allow for me to reach that 5 or 10 years down the road? So it might be, all right, this year, I know that in order for me to get to 10 million 5 or 10 years from now, I know right now, within a year, I want to make my business have make 250,000, right? Or 100,000. Okay. You might say, whoo, that's a stretch, right? It's not. It's all a numbers game. That's it. That's a training for a whole nother day. Okay. But when you think about it in terms of, okay, I know this, I have this $10 million goal that I'm striving for that seems far off, but what can I achieve now within a year? And so, hey, you might feel like $100,000, depending on your business model, is not very doable for you. And so maybe you need to assess a situation here, because maybe you're doubting yourself. Maybe you're not giving yourself the credit that you need, or maybe you're not figuring out the numbers that you need to figure out. So when you're thinking in terms of your dream life now, you want to think about, what can I achieve that's measurable, trackable, SMART goals. You already know it. Google University. We already know what SMART goals is. Okay. So you may say, okay, this is something that is attainable. Let's just say the $250,000 is attainable. Okay. So you say, okay, this is attainable. And I know if I can make this 250,000, I want to be able to increase that for the next year, and then take that and increase that again. I want to double up on how I did this 250,000 and keep adding to that, and doing the things that will allow for me to transition my business upwards. Okay. So the thing is, whenever you're thinking about your dream life now, you want to set that SMART goal that's going to allow for you to achieve it within a year, that allows for you to have that setting block that's going to allow for you to go ahead and achieve your goals later on as well. And so what it does is it gives you like that competitiveness with yourself. What it also does is allow for you to be able to live the life that you want to live now. And you may say, well, Tashana, not technically I'm not, because I'm still striving for that goal. Well, technically you are, because you're going to do all the things that you need to do in order to go ahead and start living like you're already making that 250,000 or that 10 million. So now you're already in the motion. Okay. You're in the motion to hit your goals. You're in the motion of understanding, okay, I got to take myself seriously. I got to boss up myself. I got to do things differently. And so whenever you begin to have that mind shift, this is like the first step of really living your dream life. Now, some of you may say, hey, circumstances hit hard. I don't know about all of that. You got to understand that when it comes to living your dream life, there's things that you can do now that allows for you to feel that financial freedom, or allows for you to feel like there is a way out or whatever that prosperity thing is for you. Okay. I'm not going to speak for you. You can only speak for you. So decide what that is. What is a dream life right now? It may be, okay, I might have to work this 9 to 5, but you know what? My dream life is to be able to do these podcasts all over. Well, do it. Do it. Start reaching out to people. Start doing the things that you want to do, because what happens now is this is training time. Okay. And so after you have decided, okay, this is the dream life I want to live now, and this is what I'm going to do for the next 12 months. Now, number two, you got to assess where you are. So you may be feeling, okay, I'm not there yet with my confidence in order to, reach out to these podcasts. So I need to join Next Level Branding Academy. I had to do that plug. I'm just joking. But that's true though. You can, okay? But you may be saying, okay, well, I know I can start reaching out to podcasts. I can start, doing interviews, start doing videos so that individuals can see what you're talking about, see how your manners are, see how your personality is, so that they can connect with you. And then after you assess this situation that you're in, now, first of all, let me point this out, okay? Don't beat yourself up. As women, as business owners, as people in general, as humans, we are oh my God, we are our worst critic, right? We will beat ourselves down to a pulp, not even knowing that we have to be our best cheerleader, not our best critic, okay? Our worst critic. And so when you realize that you have to look at your life objectively, like, hey, I know if I keep doing this, I'm not going to hit this $250,000 goal within a year. But I know if I do this, I can. And so you assess that situation of where you are. And all of this still involves the first step, which is your mindset. Whenever you realize that you're ready to make this pivot, you already know there's some things that you're going to have to change in your life. There's boundaries you're going to have to set, and there's a schedule, or there's structure, period, that has to happen. And so for years, I have always been looking for a way that I can live my dream life now. And there may be times where individuals, or you may hear, hey, there's certain things that you may not be ready for in your business just yet. But there's always alternatives. There's always creative ways to make the things that you need to make happen. And so that brings me to number 3. Create your own bucket of opportunities. That's right. So whenever okay, this ain't where I want to be, I got to make some things shake. That means making that transformation within yourself and taking the time to really realize that you have somewhere to go. And I don't mean just physically somewhere to go, but where you are right now is not where you want to be. Where you are right now does not define you. Where you are right now is not where you're supposed to be, possibly. But here's the thing you got to understand. Where you are right now is actually the perfect time. Perfect time. Why? Because everything that has happened in your past is going to be used in order to catapult you into your future. And so when you think of, okay, I have came up with my $250,000 plan. Okay, this is how I'm going to do it with my numbers. This is what $250,000 a year looks like to me. Now you may say, okay, this looks like, okay, I have at least 1 or 2 team members. I have my podcast, but I'm also featured on multiple podcasts around the world. Okay, don't limit yourself. We're going for world status. Okay, always go global. Always. Everybody knows people all around the world. Trust me, everybody does. So when you're thinking in that term, now you're thinking, okay, let me be creative with the things that I would love to do now. So for instance, we love to travel. And a lot of times that whenever we are traveling, I usually do business as while I'm traveling as well. And I like doing that. Actually, that's pretty much how I I like to travel, period. So anywhere I go, even for instance, okay, even let's say I'm not gonna tell you some future plans. Let's give you a back plan. Whenever I went to go see family, you know what I did? I set up appointments and presentations in that city. Why? Number one, because I'm about to turn this into a business trip so that it can be able to expand my business for one. Number two, it could be a tax write-off because I need to be handling business at the end of the day. But number three, I was able to still have business and pleasure while on this trip. So for me, hey, that works for me. That's the dream life. I can travel. I can be anywhere I want to be and still do the things that I need to do. Still be able to connect with individuals in the community or in that state. So to me, that's part of my dream life. I love to be able to pick up and go and travel anytime and anywhere. And so with that, I make sure that that is something I can do right now. You get what I'm saying? I can literally pack up, let's go, y'all. I booked us a trip, let's go. I can do that. Why? Because my daughter is homeschooled now. And I know a lot of us, you know, in a circumstance where, you know, our kids are at home and we don't have a choice. But this was a choice that I made before the pandemic happened. Okay. And so to me, that's part of my dream life. This is something I've written 5-10 years ago before I even had a child. You get what I'm saying? So I wanted to homeschool my children. And so I knew that was part of my dream life. And so I have the opportunity to live that now. Why? Because I made the necessary pivots in order to do so. And so you have to create those buckets of opportunities so that you can start living your dream life now. So I can't tell you what that is, but when it comes to your buckets of opportunity, you want to look at what can I do in order to serve my community. One of the things that I found out I have the most success, and I've seen the most success, is when I serve and being that servant leader. When I'm pouring out from the heart, when I'm giving you what I say, I'm giving you all the juices, I'm giving you all the goods. That's me. That's me. And that's something that I love to do. And in order for me to be able to do that, I have to make sure my business is structured in a way that I feel comfortable with still being able to give high value, whether it's free or paid. And so I created my bucket of opportunity with next level branding. So what this allows for me to do is it allows for me to still have my high ticket offers, and it still allows for me, who, you know, used to be that little girl who used to have her whole, you know, used to play teacher and had a whole full class. It allows for me to live that life that when I was a kid, I loved doing that. You know, when I was a kid, I also loved cutting up clothes and making clothes. That's something I got my degree in, opened a women's clothes store, started styling. And so you see how the things that you want to really do, you can find a way to be able to do that now. And so you got to find those opportunities that's going to allow for you to seize that moment and to live in that prosperity moment that you want to live in. Okay. So just to recap before I get on the last step, the last point, the last number, the last jewel, the last. All right. First, you want to clarify, what is this dream life now in the next 12 months that you want to live? What are some things? Be creative with. If you feel like, hey, that's too far off, be creative with the way that you could be able to do that now. Number two, you got to figure out where you are now. Be objective about it and understand that everything is not going to be the way it is, but you can be able to still do the things that you want to do. And so there may be some things that you have to change in order to do that. And then once you understand that, okay, I'm clear on what I want to do for the next year, and I understand where I stand currently, now I can seize all the opportunities. Now I'm seeing, how can I serve my community? How can I serve the women, my peers? You know, if you're a coach or consultant, how can you serve other coaches and consultants? How can you serve your audience and give? Because when you give, everything comes back to you. You already know that's life, that's karma, right? But here's the biggest thing that oh my gosh, this is like if you don't do this, I promise you, everything else will feel like it's falling apart. I promise you. I know this because I've been through it. I'm telling you, I've been through it, okay? You have to have the will to keep going. No matter how hard you fall. I'm telling you, I have cried doing the things that I had to do because I had to push through. Because I knew that if I did not take this step, if I did not do these things that I needed to do, I would never break free of limiting beliefs. I knew that I would never break free from holding myself hostage. And I had to give myself the freedom to fought for my failures and mistakes, but be in freedom that I can hold on to my faith and keep going. Because these challenges that I face, these things that may come up, it's okay, but it's going to allow for me to be better. It's going to allow for me to grow. It's going to allow for me to add value. And so those buckets of opportunities is going to really be your like your training ground. You get what I'm saying? That's your training ground, because it's going to take your will to carry out these opportunities. It's going to take will to understand that, okay, regardless of how I feel, I got to make this call. Regardless of how I feel, I gotta make this sale. Regardless of how I feel, I'm going to do this. And whenever you realize that, and it's not from a point of, let me put all this on me because now I hold this status. No, it's about realizing what you want and what's best for you and your family, and what's best for your business and your business model. What's best for you? You get what I'm saying? And so when you figure out what's best for you, no matter what has been said, or, you know, you take in wise counsel and you take that and you form and fashion it to you, now you're able to take those resources and add the fuel in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit, and in your physical to keep your will going. And so I found out, like, whenever I gave up on myself and I allowed all the worry, doubt, fear, everything that I wanted to come to my mind to come and sit and talk and hang out, I was not myself. I was forcing myself to be me. Y'all get what I'm saying? I was forcing myself to be me. And I realized that if I really wanted to break free, and if I really wanted to live a dream life now and really take on this next level, I have to change my mindset, which takes will. I have to put my emotions aside and objectively decide, where am I and what am I really capable of doing. And when I realized that, wow, I'm really capable of doing that, and I'm either just procrastinating or I'll do it just to do it. And I'm getting it off. Those things that I feel like in my heart, my spirit, and that's connected and aligned with everything that I want to do, there is a will and there is a way. And finding that will and that way within what works for me and giving that value back I've seen exponential results from, I'm not just talking about monetary, because everything isn't about monetary, especially when it comes to prosperity and abundance. I want you to realize that, like, the money is the byproduct, okay? The byproduct. It's the byproduct of all the things that you have put in place and that you are doing. And so naturally, success loves energy, money loves energy. So money is currency. Currency is flow. It's in the flow. It's in the mix, right? And so when you release that and you say, I'm going to serve and I'm really going to give back, you will find a way. Everything around you will find a place. But you got to take that step forward. And you got to know that by you having the will to carry on, and you have the will and the way to get to that 250,000 a year, to get to that 10 million a year, you're going to realize that you have more value, more worth, and more than you ever thought, and expertise in you that you ever thought. The only reason why that you may not feel like you are the expert right now, or the go-to, or I don't feel confident in carrying out this service, or I don't feel confident in my product, that's because you don't believe in yourself. And I can say it just as blatantly as that, because I've been there, where you don't believe in yourself that you can do it. You can't do that to yourself. You cannot. You got to know that if there's a will, there's a way. And there's always resources out there. And there's always a way. But you have to be willing to step out and do it. I'm reading this book. I want you guys, let me get it 1 second. I'm reading this book by Erica Latrice, Finish, right? And oftentimes, so one of the things that really, really, like, I even talked about it with my client yesterday on the phone, but I thought this was like, man, how many of us jack this up, right? You got to get this book. Erica Latrice, Amplify Her. I've been connected with Erica for years. So definitely going to have her in the NLB Academy. I'm sorry, Erica, I already put you out there. So we're going to make that happen. This woman is a powerful woman. If you never connected with Amplify Her, you have to. If you're a speaker, if you want to step on stage, if you want to soar, this is a woman that you need to connect with, honey, because she is just like me. We're going to challenge you to push yourself because we see the greatness in you. And I love my big sis for that. One of the things that she had here, this is day 1. Day 1. This lets you know this is something that we all deal with, okay? And this is very relevant to our pivot to purpose. All right. And I'm about to actually get off because I have a mastermind I got to get on, right? Because I'm making my pivots in order to prosper. So before I go into Erica day 1 finish, before I go into that, and it's a 7-day experience book. Love that book. And I have the 21 day SOAR challenge. Okay. So before I do that, I want to give you the 4 points in order to pivot to prosper. Okay. Once again, get clear on your dream life, what you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Fashion that dream life around you, okay? What can you do now to go ahead and live that life now? Assess where you are objectively. Don't be hard on yourself. Hey, there's some things that you need to work on. There's some things that you are great at. Write it all down. And then create your own bucket of opportunities. This is from how are you going to serve? How are you going to get yourself out there and step out? And lastly, your will is what's going to keep you going. All right. So those are the 4 pivot. The 4 gems or the 4 steps. The 4, you need to do them all together. Okay. To help you be able to pivot in order to prosper. Now, this is day 1. All right. And what I love about this, she has the unfinished mindset so the book is basically finished. All right. The goal is for you to finish. So sometimes we get so stuck in our past and our failures and everything that it's hard for us to finish. Right. We've all been there. We all want to pick ourselves up, but yet it's still hard. Right. It's still hard to finish. So what I love about Erica is that the day 1, she already set the tone. You already know. Okay. Now I'm not going to go into her book because I want you to go get it. But I'm going to give you this little piece, right? Unfinished. You can't decide what you want. I've been there. Finish. When you know the what, you can walk out the how. Ooh. When you know the what, you can walk out the how. So I know how it feels to have an unfinished mindset. So let's talk about that. All right. I know I want to talk about this just briefly. You can't decide what you want. Now, one of the things I get a lot of questions on is, and I get a lot of discussions with women that are business owners. They don't decide, they don't know what idea they want to do, right? They don't know if they want to do this, because they're great at all of it. All right. I do believe there are a jack of all trades and jills of all trades, but I do believe that there are times in our lives where we really was in that field or really, learn those expertise, and it helped us out later on in our life. You can't discount that, okay? You can't discount what you learned in your experience. Can't discount that. So when it comes to an unfinished mindset, you can't decide what you want. That means you all over the place. I know. I've been there. I find myself sometimes still falling into that, but I know how to snap out, get it going. And that's why you want to use those 4 steps, because it's going to keep you focused, right? So I have certain things that I have lined out that I know I got to get done, because I did not take the time when I had the unfinished mindset to finish it. So now that I'm in a finished mindset and you're now trying to make this pivot, you're like, oh my God, it's so much I have to get done. I'm never going to get this done. This is going to be forever. How am I going to do this? Stop. Because you already know what you need to do. You're clear on what you need to do, right? Because you did the 4 steps. You're clear on what you need to do. You have a clarity, an awareness of where you are, all the things that are in your spectrum, in your environment that you can take advantage of. So now now you literally have the blueprint for the finished. So you no longer have no excuse to say, I can't finish. Because now you know. Now you got the 4 steps, or now you know what you want to do. Even if you just know what I want to do. I don't know any opportunities. I don't know where I really am. I just know this is what I want to do. At least you're clear on that. And when you start taking action towards that, the how will definitely come. You can walk out the how. That is so true. You can literally every day, and that's the thing, every day, step by step, you're learning, you're growing, you're taking things day by day. And what happens is you look up and you done finished. You chilling now. And so my point is that you have to know that you are a winner. You have to know that you can make it happen. And so you got to start transforming your mind from an unfinished mindset of, I will never do this. This is going to take me forever. I have too many business ideas. I don't know which one to do. We'll talk about that on another one. I just have no clarity in life. But now you got no excuse, because now if you watched this video, you have four strong ways to get clear, to help you get clear. And so I want to go back over that, because I want you to really know that you can finish anything that you set out to do. And you can really live your dream life now. And in Next Level Branding Academy, that's truly what we teach. Because I want you to know that all the things that you feel like is going to take forever for you to achieve, it's not. It's not. You can be able to still validate your idea. You can still be able to make those connections that you need to make. You still can be able to make money without a product, without even having anything yet. Or better yet, you can be able to set up a business in as little as 7 days. You can be able to do whatever you want to do, but you got to start somewhere. So it starts with having a vision, that dream life that you set out for the next 12 months, for the next 6 months, and you just keep adding to it. You keep growing it. So just to recap, okay? These are the 4 things that you want to do in order to pivot, in order to prosper now. Clarify your dream life, what you want to achieve now and in the next 12 months. Assess your situation. You guys can see me. But the last one, okay, there we go. We're back. Now, internet sucks here, okay? But the last one, have the will. Even though my internet sucks, I'm still going to get on here and record and talk to you guys. Why? Because I love doing this. I love being able to interact with you. And if you want to share your dream life or what you want to do now, just leave your comment below. I would love to be able to expand on that and talk to you about how you can be able to do that. And don't forget, November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I ain't mean doing it. But November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I will be doing a masterclass. I will be pretty much laying out my full system of how you can do a full launch and grow. And this system right here is basically what the whole academy is built on as well. So you can be able to get access to this even now. So you guys, let me tell you, the pivot that has to happen, oh my gosh, when you make it happen, the struggles or the challenges don't even compare to the benefits of what you feel mentally, physically, and everything, and emotionally, and everything holistically. Okay, so take these 4 steps. Join me in the Next Level Masterclass and join me in Next Level Branding Academy. Until then, my loves, I'll see you next Wednesday. If not, join me. Pumps and profit across the board. I look forward to seeing you, and I'll see you guys later.